Welcome back to POV Italian Cooking, where you see cooking from my point of view. The wife and I are watching our calories a little bit. I'm getting a little bit of belly on myself. So a couple days a week, we are cooking the Weight Watcher version of some Italian dishes because we both love Italian food. So in the next couple episodes, you are going to see a Weight Watchers version of some Italian dishes. Now in this episode, we are doing a Weight Watcher Chicken Marsala. Now later in the video, you're going to hear me talking about this and I'm going to say 8 smart points. Forget that. I don't know where I got that information. This is 4 smart points for a 4-ounce piece of chicken, plus the sauce and the mushrooms. So you've heard me yak on long enough. Let's get to the video and take a look at our ingredients. Time to take a look at our ingredients for our Weight Watchers Chicken Marsala. We're going to use just maybe a tablespoon or 2 of the olive oil to keep our points down. A cup of the Marsala. Now this is beef broth. We're going to reduce this beef broth and we're going to use about 2.5 cups of the reduced beef broth. Of course, we're going to salt, pepper, and thyme our chicken. This is cornstarch. This is going to serve as our thickening agent. In regular chicken marsala, of course, you're using the heavy cream, which has a whole lot of points in it. We use, well, this is probably 4, 5, 6 cups of mushrooms and 2 pounds of chicken. So I've got my stuff repositioned over by the stove, most of it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pound out our chicken. Now, I've got some great big old chicken breasts. These are about 1 pound each. We are going to pound these flat. 2 reasons we pound them flat. 1, they cook quicker. These are really thick, and that would take forever to get them cooked through. We don't want that. Also, by pounding them, it makes them more tender. So all you really do, I like to wrap them in plastic kind of loosely, just because if not, meat juice flies everywhere, and you guys have heard me say meat juice 100 times. So what you do when you pound chicken, you pound it from the middle out. And you really take a swing at it. As you can see, it really spreads out. Now I didn't pound it paper thin, I just have it pounded to a consistent thickness. Now this is also really big to put in our pan. So I'm just going to kind of cut it into manageable pieces, like so. And then once I get all of this cut the way I want, or the size that I want, I'm just kind of cutting them random size pieces as you can see. I am going to use my salt, my pepper, and my thyme, just very lightly on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and get this other chicken breast I have, pound it out. I have my chicken all cut up, little pieces here. I'm just going to kind of lay it back out on my cutting board like so. You can see it's all pretty much a consistent thickness. And I'm going to break away real quick and wash my hands. Anytime you handle chicken, you really should wash your hands, so I wanted to break away. Now all we're going to do, real quick, just salt and pepper our chicken both sides. Salt, now some pepper, not much. Then we come in with our thyme. It's that time of day to put on the thyme. I am repositioned by my stove. Most important thing, I have the beef broth here. I've got it over high heat because I'm trying to get this reduced. Should have started it a few minutes earlier, but I didn't. So, back to our pan. What we're gonna do, we're doing a Weight Watchers. So we wanna go with some olive oil, but we wanna keep our olive oil down because olive oil, it does have a few points in it, and that's probably good enough. What we're gonna start with is our mushrooms. So let's get the flame under our pan here. We'll turn it up to about medium. I want to get my olive oil going here. We are going to saute our mushrooms for 4 or 5 minutes. Really what we're doing here is just making sure we get the moisture out of them. Now I use baby Bella mushrooms. I like the flavor of baby Bella. If you have white button mushrooms, use those. If you have both, use those. So we're going to let these go for about 4 or 5 minutes over medium, maybe just below medium heat. Let's talk about our side for today's dish. I didn't record this, but if you've seen some of my earlier videos, you know I'm kind of a fan of sous vide cooking. So what I did was a sous vide carrot and parsnips. I got some rainbow carrots and a few parsnips. You put about a pound in a bag with some butter, parsley, and salt. You will cook those in your sous vide at 185 degrees for 1 hour. These will be done here in just about 5 minutes. But these are going to be our low-cal side, our good Weight Watcher side for our Weight Watcher meal. Our mushrooms have been sauteing now for about 5 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to push our mushrooms, try to push them off to the side a little bit, because we're going to put our chicken in here now to cook. Our chicken only needs to cook 3 to 5 minutes each side. So what we will do, we'll put the chicken in here, and kind of as we put it in here, you'll see I'll kind of push the mushrooms maybe over top of it. So that way we can line our pan real good with chicken. So I have been away from recording for quite a while. You know, from moving. You've seen my video about my new kitchen and whatnot. Then from all of the moving, I have some back problems every now and then, little flare-ups. Well, I had a bad flare-up this time and I'm still fighting it. I now have sciatica, which has slowed me down quite a bit and been wonderful to deal with, which that's kind of kept me from recording very much, and we've just been busy. All right. All the chicken's in the pan. We're going to let that chicken cook. We're not going to touch it. We're going to let it cook 4 minutes, 5 minutes each side. We'll be back when this is ready to turn. It has been about 4 minutes, so it's time to turn our chicken. You can see here I took all the mushrooms and just kind of piled them on top of the chicken. We're going to do the same thing once we get these turned. But when I turn my chicken, I just like to rearrange it a little bit, just like the ones that are in the middle of the pan, I'll put on the outside of the pan. Now, my cookware kind of sucks, so you might see some of this chicken stick. Doesn't really suck, I just don't like it. Get all this chicken turned. Now you're going to see that you're going to say, man, that doesn't look cooked through. Well, after we get everything, we let this cook for 4 or 5 more minutes. Once we get it turned over, this is going to simmer. The chicken will get done clear through. So I'm going to get my mushrooms off the bottom here. We'll let these cook another 5 minutes, and then we'll be back. The chicken has been happily cooking away for about 4 or 5 minutes. Now, we are going to come in. You guys that have watched my videos, you know I never measure. I go with my gut. But this is a Weight Watcher Chicken Marsala. So we have to measure to make sure we get our points right. So that was 1 cup of Marsala wine. I like to use the dry Marsala. I'm going to turn my heat up to boil that alcohol off. Some people like to use the sweet Marsala. I'm just a dry Marsala guy in my Chicken Marsala. The great thing is when you're cooking at home, you make it the way you like it. What we're going to do is let this just cook for a minute or two. You can see it's kind of bubbling up on us, but what you want to do is let this cook until the alcohol smell is gone. So I've taken my beef stock off the heat. It's reduced. I have 2.5 cups of beef stock. Still nice and hot. You can still see the steam coming off of it. So what we're going to do, I smell no alcohol. We're going to take about half of our beef stock and pour it in here. We're going to turn our heat up because we want this to reduce. Now, why am I not putting all of the beef stock in here, you may ask? Well, here's why. Heavy cream that normally acts as your thickening agent in Chicken Marsala, full of points. What I have here is 3 tablespoons of cornstarch that we're going to dissolve in the remaining beef stock, and we're just going to whip this and make a roux. I can feel it sticking on the bottom. But you just really want it to break up as good as you can. We come in with our roux. I'm just going to kind of mix this up just a little bit, and I'm going to let this simmer for 8 minutes. So it is now 6:18 local time. So it's, oh yeah, I can feel it thickening up already. 8 minutes. We're going to be back. I'm going to get all this cornstarch. Honey, you made a mess with cornstarch. Get all this cornstarch mess cleaned up, and then we're going to be ready to eat. It has been 8 minutes. This is simmered. You can see it's really thickened up pretty good. There is a lot of liquid in there, but it's thick. It smells really, really good. So what I'm going to do is break away, get this plated. When I come back, we're going to see how tasty this Weight Watcher Chicken Marsala is. I plated up our Weight Watchers Chicken Marsala. It does smell really good. Let's see how it tastes. Now, I am a traditionalist when it comes to my Chicken Marsala. I like very traditional Chicken Marsala. Again, I'm a dry Marsala wine rather than a sweet wine kind of guy. Two different kinds of wines here just because, you know, hey, why not? So let's give this a shot. Okay.
It's good.
Now for a Weight Watcher dish, this is really good. Using the beef broth, you get a good hint of the Marsala wine. The beef kind of comes through. Of course, the beef was reduced, so it kind of strengthens that beefy flavor a little bit. The sauce is really good. I really like it, honey. I think we found a winner here. But anyway, Weight Watcher Chicken Marsala. If I remember right, you're looking at about 8 points for a 4-ounce piece of chicken, if I remember right. But these are Weight Watcher Smart Points. So give this one a shot. It's definitely worth it if you're looking for some Italian food while you're doing the Weight Watchers program. So thank you so much for watching POV Italian Cooking. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on LinkedIn and Google+. But most importantly, click that subscribe button in YouTube. Thanks again for watching, and ciao!